I had a pretty crazy thought today. If you're like me and you have historically and very much still struggled with clutter in your workshop, and specifically if you have a tendency to minimize in your mind the effect that it has on your productivity, walk with me through this little exercise real quick. Go ahead and take a look at every single horizontal surface in your workspace that is so cluttered that you can't really use it. Here's the crazy part. Imagine this is literally just a wall. You don't have access to it. Functionally, there might as well be a wall there. Any workspace where you have cleared out a little spot on the table to get some work done, you can count that, but you can't count the rest of it. So forget having a 5-foot by 8-foot workbench in your garage. What you actually have is an 18-inch by 2-foot work surface, surrounded by walls. Anywhere where there's something on the floor that shouldn't be there. You can't walk here, you don't have access to it, you get the wall. Thought you had a walkway here? Nah, it's a little creepy tunnel, 1-foot wide creepy tunnel. Made of walls. Not that long before you realize you've been living in the friggin' back rooms for a while now. You could just imagine dropping someone off in that environment and being like, be productive. Let's be real, it's not happening. How could you expect that of anybody? How could you expect that of yourself? That is specifically why I have committed last month to knocking some walls down, baby. Over the last month, I put some heavy work into this corner. My goal is to wipe out the generational curse of clutter that has plagued my family for I don't know how long. Once I can get the whole entire workshop looking like this, that's when I'll consider that a success. We got some time at the end of the video. I'm gonna go ahead and build a few more little French cleat tool holders like we got here. That's what I did in the last video. It was a lot of fun, but I am thinking it's time to expand. I think I'm gonna take on this corner next. All this and more on today's DNA production. Hope you guys like it. All right, so just like I did with the last corner, the first order of business is just gonna be getting everything off of this table and off of this space, you know, the pegboards and everything, and onto the table behind me so that after I get all the work done in this area, as far as like painting and maybe, you know, building some new storage here, then I can just replace everything that I want to keep, and everything I don't need to keep, obviously, I just toss it. It seems to be a very effective way of doing this. Before I go any further, some of you guys might have noticed in the comments of the last video, I was actually under religious persecution from a cult known as the Oryukagists. You may think you never even heard of them. I guarantee you've actually interacted with them before. They're this bizarre group of people on the internet that whenever they see somebody building something cool, it's like a Pavlovian response. The only thing that they can muster is, or you could just, and then invariably they make some recommendation that is at least 10 times worse than what you did. I don't know how they managed that one. You'd think like 1 out of 1,000 times they might make a recommendation that was better than what you did, but no, it's pretty impressive actually. It's an elite level of consistency that I honestly wish I could apply to some good things in my life. But basically their consensus was that I should have used pegboard instead of French cleats. See what I mean? I've used pegboard before. I'm well acquainted. French cleats are better, all right? I should say French cleats are much better for me. If you are some kind of machine that can just put your tools back exactly where you took them from every single time, you would never think of putting something else where you had your tool originally. Hey, pegboards might be good for you. But for me, a pegboard is basically just the vertical version of a horizontal surface, and we know how I treat those. I promise that one hook there was not originally supposed to be the safety glasses and sling dart hook. Pretty much the same story with putting screws in the wall that are supposed to hold all your tools in a nice organized fashion. That was beautifully organized at one point. We got that, or we got that. I like that. But if you really, really do love pegboard this much, you'll be very happy to hear this beautiful piece right here is coming to a landfill near you. Come and get it. All right, here's a really obvious one. I'm gonna move this over to the left so that it's not just hovering over the table, taking up space for no reason. But upon inspection, I'm looking at the way that I attached it underneath. It's a little unorthodox to say the least. It just kind of has me a little nervous if I was like just doing absolutely anything I needed to get the job done. And I've like, you know, wood glued this straight to the wall. I used to do stuff like that. It drives me nuts these days trying to make adjustments. And let me get this stuff off of here first and we'll see the damage. All right, let's see. Oh, thank God. Man, I have not seen that spot on the wall in a long time. Feels good. Whoops, I forgot to hit record, but we're taking all this stuff down next. What is this thing? I wonder if I could use that for something. Man, it's so cathartic seeing it with nothing on it. It almost bums me out how much stuff I have to put back on it. I've got some pretty nice stuff in mind though, so I don't think I'm gonna be upset once I actually do it. I should just soak this up while I can. Quite the exhilarating montage, I know, but considering the fact that I plan on doing the whole garage in pretty much this exact same way, there's a lot of these tasks that are going to get really repetitive if I'm doing like a whole entire montage of them for every single video. So chances are going forward when it comes to stuff with like, you know, replacing the screws and spackling and maybe even painting, I might do either just like a really quick montage of it, or I might just kind of skip it all together and focus more on things that are more specific to that area of the garage that may be a little more interesting. Man, this is so exciting. Alrighty, I'm gonna let this dry, and in the meantime, I'm gonna get to work on the mini cleat wall. Now, in the very short amount of time I've had this Bora straight edge, I've gotten so much good use out of it. It's definitely one of the best purchases I've made in a long time. Using it is as simple as figuring out the exact distance from your saw blade to the short edge of the foot of your saw. In my case, I wrote it down. It's 1 inch and 9/16, or as I say in my head, 1.5 inches and a 16. You just add that number to the width of the strips that you want to cut. So I want to cut these 4 inches wide, so I'm going to do 5 and 9/16. Same thing on the other side. Line the straight edge up with those marks, and it's got this perfect little built-in clamp right here, so you don't have to mess with extra clamps, and it doesn't have like a little custom clamp that you're gonna lose. Man, this thing's so nice. And I just discovered this little masking tape trick so you don't shred the top veneer when you're cutting against the grain. When you get a little groove going, these things fly by. I also learned in the last video that it's actually more effective to clean the edges up by hand. That orbital sander is a little bit too aggressive, and it'll end up kind of deforming this sharp edge right here, and that will kind of mess you up when you're trying to use the spacer in between your cleats to get that perfect spacing. It honestly doesn't take all that much longer though. Perfect. I got the laser engraver pedestal all painted up, and it just occurred to me that since I'm not floating it over the table, I don't have to have it up under my chin. I can put it at a normal table height. Should be able to pull this out while I get the supports under there. This is actually so sturdy, I probably could just leave it like this, but in the off chance that one day I were to slip and fall and catch myself on it, it's still gonna put some supports underneath. Should hold up a laser engraver. baby cleat wall going up with a little surprise you'll see in a second. Maybe I should countersink these. You ready for this? Ooh. Oh my gosh, this is even cooler than I thought it was gonna be. I gotta get the lights back on here for you to get the full effect, but remember in the last video I was talking about setting up stations around the garage where I could just set the camera and, you know, film particular things. Look at this. I mean, even without the lights, tell me that doesn't look awesome. It's so nice. Lord willing and fingers crossed, this is the end of the working on something while my hand or my arm is right in front of it era. Yeah, dang near 15-year-long era. Can I put the light back now? Let's see what that looks like. Check that out. I'm loving this. This is awesome. The adjustment is so easy too. Ooh, binging with Babish vibes. Now, second to last, gotta throw the monitor back up there because the little tiny LCD screen on the camera is pretty much impossible to see with the light shining in your face. Half your videos end up completely out of focus. And that little bit of extra storage is the final touch. Sorry I didn't film it. I didn't feel like it. While I am definitely trying to limit how much stuff I'm storing here in the garage, I want to store stuff in the basement mostly. I mentioned in that first video that I wanted this to be, amongst other things, my slingshot station. So these 6.5 quart tubs are what I've been using for storing all of my slingshot band material. I just got tubs and tubs of this stuff. All different colors. I grab a new color of one of these things every time I'm at Home Depot. I just like them. I like these little things. But it'll be really cool to have, you know, a more cohesive color scheme like I've never had. I'll give you a quick little peek. Each of the tubs is riding on rails. They're not locking into each other, so they're much easier to remove. Yeah, geez, I think that's it. And also, obviously, the darling little husky tool chest. The little red one you've seen in my videos for a while is where I've kept all of my slingshot band making tools. I gotta transfer all this stuff over sometime. So what we got for this week, Wellas. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it inspired you. Thank you very much for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.